a lot going on here. I got a phone call. All right, 48, did you say? Yeah, that one
Yeah.
I've got. Oh,
The
no, I
problem is 49 as it relates to 48.
didn't. Yeah. Okay, so here's 49. In
I
49,
thought we had.
they say find S1 complement. Did you see that? That's S1 complement relative to the universal set. So if you look up to the chart, S1 is the set of traits in the first column, all right? So the first thing you got to do is you got to find the universal set, right? So you got those two lists, and you got to develop a master list that's a universal list for the first year and the second year. You'll see that on the screen here. We need encourages, that's supposed to be suggestions, sets goals with me, gets me to have high goals, listens carefully, is aware of others, is self-aware, and the only one in the right column that's not in there is follows up on action. Do you see that the right list only has one new one? I can't remember who I'm talking to. Did anybody, did you get that? Whoever asked about number 49 and 48.
Oh, I asked about 48.
Yeah, but 48 was not assigned. Okay, we've got screeching going on. Whoever, somebody might have to mute, but you didn't. Okay, you didn't have number 48. If you look at this list here on the assignment, here, let me get the pictures out of there so you guys can see a little bit better. If I can figure out how to do that. Okay, well, let's get the pictures. The pictures are now covered up, I hope, at least on my end they are. Anyway, 48 was not one of the problems, 49 was. But 49 refers to number 48. So anyway, as I was trying to show that in number 49, the first thing you got to do is make up a universal set for number 48. So what you have to do is take those two lists, first year and second year, and make up a universal set that includes both. That's what I did right here to the right of my red arrow. That's what I did right there. Now that you have a universal set, now you can answer number 49, which says, what's S1 complement? Well, so if you look, in other words, in the first year, which element is not in this universal set? And the answer is, that's the only one from the first year that's not in the universal set. So 49 was the problem you had assigned to you, and it causes you to have to look back at 48. Sorry for the confusion there on that one. So let me go back now. Now I can't see you guys. All right, let me bring that back so I can see who I'm talking to here. So Susan, did you find what you were looking for? Susan, did you find that one?
No, that was in another section.
Okay.
That's okay.
Let's take another question on lesson 2.2. Russ, welcome. We are currently taking questions on lesson 2.2. Anything you want to go through any of the assignment problems? The first one we looked at was number 49.
Can we look at 45?
Yes. Okay, 45. Name the traits that are common to all four of the sets. So in other words, in that chart at the bottom of the previous page,
Right.
we've got those four charts. What they're saying is which things are in all 4 charts? And one of them is what? Intelligence? Would you agree with that?
Yep. But I guess when I look at it, I'm looking at the M, the capital M with the W underneath.
Right.
So I was just trying to figure out how would it look with the actual, so M, so we're comparing the men.
You're trying to find traits that are in all 4 charts.
Okay. Okay, got it.
So beauty won't work, right? Because beauty is not in all 4 charts.
Right, exactly.
But intelligence does work.
Yep, that one works.
What about
yours
cheerfulness?
Will work as well.
Okay, are there any others? Not congeniality.
Right, that one.
How about consideration? No. How about kindliness?
Nope.
Nope. How about loyal? I think how about congeniality? Nope, not in that
Nope.
one. I think we're done. So,
Okay, so on the test, would you want us to answer it like this, or would we have to draw out some type of set or something?
answering it like this would be just fine.
Like what you have on the screen?
Yes. Maybe you're just not getting the wording there. What it says, name the traits that are common. So basically, we got to find things that common, that's intersection, things that are in all of them.
Yep.
But no, we could have done it with a drawing, but I don't know if the drawing really would have simplified it in this case. So it's just a matter of, hey, just look which items are in all 4. That would have been.
Got it.
Yeah, so there's a case where, sure, we could have used a Venn diagram, but I'm not sure that.
Yeah, it was getting confusing when I was trying to use it, and I'm like, okay.
Well, we could have
Great.
done it, but I think this time you're just better finding the common ones.
Okay.
Other questions on lesson 2.2? Anybody out there?
39.
All right, 39.
Do we have 39?
I don't know. Let's take a look. 39. Yeah. Okay. So let's just talk that one through. I don't know if I have if I can write it out, but let's just talk it through. So for number 39, whether we had it or not, you've got 3 sets given there, right? Set A, set B, set C. So what we need for number 39 is we need a universal set. And in that universal set, we've got to have enough in there so it's the universal set for all 3 of those. Okay, well, it's got to have a 1, 2, and a 3 in it, right?
Yep.
That'll take care of A. How about B? 2, 3, and 4. Well, I already have a 2 and a 3, so all I need is a 4. And how about the last one, 1, 3, and 5? Is there anything I'm missing?
5.
There. Now we've basically found a universal set as small as possible that still covers all 3 sets.
Okay.
That's pretty much number 39.
Okay.
Any other questions on 2.2? Otherwise, I'm gonna we'll move ahead and we'll go over to lesson 2.3.
I just have a question on number 33. I
Yeah.
don't know if I did that one correctly.
Okay.
I got a little lost on that for some reason, but no biggie.
So, all right, I got to look back at the directions. For 29 to 38, U is some universal set of which A is a subset. Okay, so let me just draw a picture here, a real rough picture.
Okay.
They're telling us that A is a universal set, and I'm sorry, U is a universal set, and A is a subset of it. So this picture works for that, right? Do you get this working for those directions?
Okay.
Does A appear to be a subset of U? I don't know who.
Yeah, yes, it was Russ who asked the question.
Okay, Russ. So now let's do the problem. Where does A intersect the universal set in this picture?
Well, not really anywhere. It's just inside of it, I guess. That's
Well, but isn't U everywhere inside the box?
okay. That makes sense.
So where A overlaps the universal set would be A, wouldn't it?
Okay, that makes sense.
So if you look in the back, I believe you'll see they have an A there, and good. I'm glad. It sounds like you see it now.
Yeah. I just had to once you drew the diagram, it made sense, and then after I realized that it was a subset and you had covered everything, got it.
You know, you were right when you said A is inside of U. It is,
Oh,
but
okay.
but U is under that whole thing. You got to keep remembering that U is that whole. Yeah. Okay.
All right. No problem. I got it.
Good question. Any others on lesson 2 out there?
37. Did we do that one yet? I'm sorry.
We didn't. Let's talk about it. Okay, let me make a slide here. Okay, number 37 says, take the complement of a complement. Now, all right, in your own words, what's a complement?
Complement. Something that isn't in another set or in the universe.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Or in other words, it's something that's what, outside of it?
Right. Exactly.
Or like
Okay.
the opposite. So, let's see. So, what's the opposite of A? I mean,
B?
it's almost like this. In algebra, what does that mean? I don't know, you maybe haven't had algebra for a long time, but
Right.
what happens if you take the negative of a negative? What's the opposite? I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead and talk.
Just A, right?
Yeah, exactly. So what this is saying is, all right, what's outside of A, and then what's outside of what's outside of A, and you wind up. It's like a double negative. It's like the little kid saying, "I did not eat that cookie."
Okay.
And you know what that means? It means, even though that's not what they wanted to say, but it means they ate the cookie. Right?
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this is kind of like a double opposite, and you wind up right back. So A would be the answer I would put down for that one.
I have a question on that for just a second then.
Yeah.
Could you say like whatever's the first opposite of the A in the parentheses would be like the universal set? And then if you do like the opposite of the universal set, that would be A? Or
Well,
am I thinking
you're
of something
pretty-
totally?
You're almost right. Let me make a drawing that might help.
Yeah, okay. That'd be awesome.
I like your question. So if we do like you said and we start like this, okay,
Mm-hmm.
where is A complement?
That'd be outside in the universal set.
Like this?
Yes.
Good. So in red, that's A complement. Okay. Now in blue, Where's the complement of what I just shaded?
That would be inside A then, or that would be inside a circle of A. Okay.
So, yeah, does that kind of go at your question now?
Yeah, that makes sense in a with using it as a diagram that way. I can wrap my brain around there.
And maybe I should have done it with a diagram. I think you're right. That's maybe a clearer way to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Good follow-up question.
No, thank you. That helps.
By the way, my compliments to everyone. We do not have any sound problems tonight. Thank you. I appreciate it. But please don't stay muted just to make me. I'm glad you're asking questions too. So anyway, it's working tonight. Thanks very much. So other 2.2 issues or questions? These are all excellent questions. Maybe it's time we move temporarily. We can always come back, but let's go to 2.3 for a short time here. 2.3 was when we started doing things like union and intersection and removal, the minus sign, and the operations. So this one, at the bottom of the page there, that was the assignment that we had on 2.3. Let's go to questions on that.
Could we do number 9?
Absolutely. Okay, number 9. Well, I've got this drawn out, so I don't know. I'll do it over if you want me to. But anyway, number 9, we had that picture there that I've duplicated, which has region numbers in it from 1 through 8. Number 9. So yeah. So step 1 is what? I have to do the part in parentheses. So I've got to do B union C. So here's me doing B union C. Which regions are in set B? 2, 3, 6, 7. Which regions are in set C? 4, 5, 6, 7. What's the union of those two? Paste them together, but no repeat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's like part 1 is done. Now I have to come down and I have to remove that from A. So what's in set A? 1, 3, 5, 7. And now I have to remove. And where did I get? This is that answer we did in part 1. So if you start with a 1, a 3, a 5, and a 7, and you remove 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, what's left?
1.
Do you see that would be the answer down there on the bottom?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, another question from from the Venn diagrams, 2.3.
I have a question on number 13. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, let's go with the 13. We can always move to a different one. Okay, here's number 13. Again, I have the diagram, and here's how I worked it out. So I started with this, parentheses. And before I can even, this says join A together with what's outside of B. When you join, let's see if you can see what I did there. A is what? 1, 3, 5, 7.
Okay.
And then join that with what's outside of B. 1, 5, 4, 8. So, I mean, I could do it on the side. So here's A. What's in B complement?
Okay. Yeah, the 1458 or 1548. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what order. And now if you join
Yeah.
them together, what do you get?
Let's see here. 1, 3, 4. Let's see here. 5, 7, and 7 and 8. 1, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah, I'm having trouble getting my pen to work here, but that's correct.
Okay.
So that's this guy right here.
Okay.
Now I still have to intersect that with C. So I put C down here, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here I just put the what's in circle C, and then intersection is what's in common between these two. And the final result is 4, 5, 7. So of course,
Okay.
the problem with those parenthesis problems is if you get one part of the problem wrong, of course, that'll chain reaction and it'll mess up your end result.
Yeah, it seems that I wanted to write down the intersection first before listing everything that was out in C. That was my problem with that stuff was
You're
I
right.
write all my numbers down first. I intersected first instead of after.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Got to do those parentheses first. Yeah, good that we got that out. Okay, another question from lesson 2. I'm not trying to rush you guys. I just want to, get a bunch of your questions in here. So now
My
somebody
question was on
go ahead.
39,
All right.
39, like how you would break that down.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I gave you 39, though. Did you see?
Oh.
I mean, I'll talk about it, but here was the assignment for, whoops, I went to the wrong place.
No, that's okay. That's fine.
Oh, you're right. It is in there. Okay. Draw a Venn diagram representing the most general situation for 4 sets. Yeah, it says, it warns you. That is kind of a stinker. Let's talk about that. We almost have to have what? They warned you not to use circles, so you almost have to use like rectangles or something. So here we go. Let's try it. Okay, so we have A, B, C, and D. So, and they didn't say anything about universal, but I'm just going to throw it in there. I'm not sure they want that. Okay, so let's say that's A. You could have B. So now that's the same as having 2 circles generally intersecting. And then C. And I don't have room to do D, but do you see how what I've done is tried to, okay, so right over here is where A and B intersect, right? Where I put that little 1. Where do A and B intersect? Here. And where do A, B, and C intersect? That's this little knob in the center here. And yet each one of them, A, B, and C, also have places where they don't overlap. So in other words, it's showing you, this is the most general way you can have 3 circles intersect. So it leaves a space where everything can intersect. Here's where all 3 intersect. Then these 1, 2, and 3 are where 2 of them intersect. And 4, 5, and 6 are where none of them intersect. You see how I had to set up a situation where you got anyway, that's how that question goes. Now, I didn't have the room to show you D, but we'd have to sneak a D in there too. Not the greatest question. I probably shouldn't have put that one in there.
How do you know what numbers are in what boxes, though?
It doesn't matter. I just use that as a label.
But you didn't have number 39 listed for us. You said not to do it. That's the other day.
Okay.
So,
So that's what I thought. Yeah. So in other words, this is not the exact copy of the assignment. I had a different one up on the screen. Okay. But anyway, I'm glad we talked about it. So that's why I didn't assign this one. But anyway, the whole idea is, can you find a general thing that shows where all of them might overlap and all overlap at the same time? And it gets, yeah, not the best question. That's why I didn't assign it. I'm going to have to be clear on the assignments, guys. My apologies. And maybe I conflicted and did one thing on the website and one thing in class. If so, that's my fault. Another 2-3 question?
Yeah, I struggled with the problems of 19, the odds on 19 to 25 on taking
Okay.
how it was written and getting those into Venn diagrams and doing it the proper way.
Yeah, thanks. Let's talk about one of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can take your pick of whichever one. It's not a big deal. I struggled
Yeah.
with all of them, so I'll figure it out.
Let's start with 19. Okay. Now, I know I already have this done already, but let me explain. First of all, the word, whenever you see the word or, that means union. And whenever you see the word and, well, I guess it's in this box here. So or means union, and means intersection. So the first thing we had to note is when they gave you this problem here, they were saying, oh, I want you to do a union. And when they're saying x, all x such that x is not an element of A, can you see that that's the same as A complement? Because A complement is another way of saying not in A.
Okay.
And B complement is another way of saying not in B. So you see where I got the A complement and the B complement from? And then I got the union from the or. So now it's just a matter of draw a diagram and first sketch A complement. I used this angle to sketch A complement. Then make a different sketch for B complement, and I did this top left to bottom right angle for that. And then because it's a union means join all the shading together. So it's like the answer to this when you look at it is all shading together. What's the only thing that's not shaded in here?
That'd be the intersection of A and B.
Yeah, that little oval or whatever you call that crazy thing in the middle. That's correct. So the answer to this is that whole diagram with all the shading. The union is all the shading taken together.
Okay.
So probably the key there, when you see X is not an element of A, like you see right up here, that's just another way of saying A complement. And if it said X is an element of A, then we wouldn't have had the complement symbol.
Okay.
And the rest of it is just practice doing your Venn diagrams.
All right.
I have a question. I don't know what problem it was, but I thought I saw a problem that said such and such was and or with both the words. What would you use then?
You really shouldn't get one with both words.
Okay, I'll have to search for it.
I'm curious where you might.
I'll bring it to class because I don't remember which one it was offhand, but that really caught me off guard.
Are you possibly referring to where it's or in one part in parentheses and then out, and then in a different part or a different set of parentheses, you see an and?
No, I'll just look for it and bring it to class.
Okay. I certainly wouldn't want to give you one that has both words together. I would want to keep them separate. So, but yeah, please do bring it. Does anybody else recall a problem that Susan is referring to? Well, when you find it, let's bring it up, okay? Okay, anybody else on 2.3? Keep them coming. They're good questions. I appreciate the questions.
I'll ask about number 27 then, because that one that one missed my. I didn't do well on that one.
That's a stinker. That's a stinker.
I did see the answer, and I was trying to exactly figure out the progression to that one.
Yeah. Well, take a look at my picture. I know that's not in the book. See, here's what's in the book right over here. But take a look at this picture. Can you see in that picture that A intersect B is B? In that picture, where do A and B overlap?
They don't really overlap. They're inside of each other. Well, B is inside of A.
We discussed this earlier. Remember, A is everywhere inside of that circle A.
Oh, okay.
See,
I keep
A
wanting
is
to.
a big circle, and B is that little circle. And where do they overlap? They really overlap right in B, don't they?
Okay.
So it's that same issue we talked about earlier. Can you guys see that? A and B overlap. You're right. B is inside of A. B is a subset of A. But they do overlap, and they overlap right in the B circle.
Okay.
So
I have a tendency to separate everything out and not look at, not overlay them on top of each other, for lack of a better term.
well, and I think that's a common trait. You're not alone with that. So I'm kind of glad that came up, that we could talk about it a little bit. Another let's see how we doing here. 8:13. Yeah. Do we have another question on 2.3? Well, temporarily, I'm going to move to 2.4. We can again move back if you want. 2.4 was the one with what? Where we had to use this this notation that looked like this. The number of elements in a set and the assignments down there on the bottom. So let's go to 2.4 questions.
I had a question on 25C.
All right. Okay, so sorry if this is a little sloppy, but here's number 25. I drew a picture. So let's see. Yeah, so first of all, I copied the diagram. I know, I hope you can read it. It's a little bit sloppy. So I just copied the numbers and the letters. Now, let's go to part C. How many had one or two of these types of investments? But so E stands for what? Transportation stock. I'm sorry, electric company. T stands for transportation, and M stands for municipal bonds. How many, it says, how many had one or two of these types of investments, but not all three? Well, where are the singles? You know, where is it that you only have one kind of investment?
In the middle.
No, wouldn't that be like here? There's one that only has E. Here's one that only has T. And here's one that only has M, correct?
Yep.
So those are the, so to speak, the singles. But the problem says one or two of them. Where are the so-called doubles? I'll use red for that. Isn't this a double because that 8 is both E and T at the same time? This 6 is a kind of a double because it's both T and M at the same time. And this 20 is another double. So it's like the blues, the blue ones, those are the singles. The red ones are the doubles. So the question is, how many are there of all of those? Not counting the triple, and the triple is that 4 in the middle. So if we add up all those numbers, you should get 91. Let's check. 35 plus 8 is 43. 43 plus 12 is 55. 55 plus 6 is 61. Plus 10 is 71. Plus 20 is 91. So that's what, does that make sense, Susan?
Yeah, I got the answer, but I always try to put more into it. Like I'm trying to think I'm supposed to have some type of equation or something.
I see.
But if in this type of problem, if we showed the diagram and then we just added those up to get 91, that would be sufficient?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to show your work. I mean, maybe you could have what, the numbers off to the side added up, you know, like this.
Right, that's what I had, but we
I
don't
would
need
say-
any kind of equation, right?
No.
Like
There's,
E intersect T equals 8 plus,
yeah, I would be happy if you had your column of numbers here and you showed that they added up to 91. You'd be good.
okay, got it.
Okay, continued questions on 2.4. So let me open it up to questions on any one of the 3 assignments in case you haven't had a chance to ask yet. I really appreciate you guys asking your questions. They were good questions. And thank you for, I thought we had a nice quiet session. We didn't have that, we didn't have all that feedback. That really made it a lot better. Thank you. So if you look ahead, you know, if you go on the website, you can see what I have down for week 3. You can see what the agenda is going to be for next week. I would maybe you might want to do that. I'm not giving you any new assignments, but if you haven't finished these assignments, try to get those completed, please, before Wednesday. Because you get behind, and with work and everything, it's going to be really hard to catch up. So I'd like to encourage you, try to get those as complete as possible. Does anyone else have a question?
So I have a question. So we can go online, like in Moodle or whatever, and look at some of these, like to get, like if we get confused on any assignment questions and we don't ask you them, like we can go on there and look, and this stuff that you're writing down is on there.
Yeah, in the part where it says notes from class, you will see slides just like the ones we went through today. Will you find everything? I mean, you aren't going to get, if you want to get video and get an explanation with it, then go in the video column way on the left side of the website.
Okay.
And this one will be posted, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes from now. I'll have this one posted. Or you can look at old ones. And then if I don't answer the questions you want to ask, then contact me. Send me a question. I'll get you an explanation, either in video or attached to an email.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
yeah, you're right. You should be able to find a lot of things by going on the website.
Okay. Just like if we get, if sometimes I get confused going through the questions if I don't do it the same night.
Yep, I got you. That's correct. Please don't be bashful. Send me a question. I know it's a little bit hard, but you could try to, if nothing else, you could even take a picture of your work and send it to me and say, I didn't know what to do at the bottom. And I can even go with that. Send a picture, attach it. I can read it, and then I'll do my best to answer your question.
And sorry, I don't know how the picture got up there. I was trying to do the video, but I can't keep the picture off.
What the picture off what?
Oh my, cause like all I can see, I can't see myself on here. I don't think it's showing like.
I'm sorry. I did that because I wanted you guys to see the whole slide. So that wasn't your fault. That was me. Here, I'll turn them back on. There. Can you see them now?
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about like my profile or whatever. Like it's a picture up there and not my.
Oh, you're talking. Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about that. That had nothing to do with our course. That must have had something to do with when you registered or something.
Oh, okay.
So no, don't worry about that. That's all right. All right. Anybody? One more shot. Questions you want to talk about? Thanks for asking your questions. Good job, guys. I will see you on Wednesday.
All right. Have a good evening.
You too. Look for the video in a little while.
Okay.
Thank you. Good night.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a good evening.